Let's learn about querying content in rendering variant. You've learned already about passing through links to get content from items that are linked to the items that you're rendering. But not all items are linked this way. Not all relations are specified this way. Sometimes we have things like products with variants. In this case, you can see that my product has a number of variants under them. And sometimes you need to do some field comparison to get some related content to the content that you're rendering. So let's learn about that. To do this, I've extended my data template slightly. For every page in my site, I've added a related products field. And those products are basically querying the site for products available in my website. So for example, in my post 1 underneath content, I have it tagged with product 1, product 2. Well, I haven't tagged anything here, but we can do it as well. And what I would like to do is on my blog, on my post, I would like to display an information regarding that product. So for that, I'm going to specify an additional rendering variant for page content. And I can already hear you, oh, Adam, you're abusing the page content. That's not necessarily should be used for all this kind of stuff. Yes, you should be using a more built-for-purpose components in this case. Like you've learned in the previous video, you should probably be cloning this page content. However, for the purpose of this video, it's okay for me to just use it as long as you don't do it on production. So I'm going to specify the way to expose those products, but then the products don't have we don't have a way, we haven't learned a way yet to see how to render those variants that are underneath them. And we're going to see that now. So let's create a rendering variant called related products. And in those related products, let's add first a title to that component so that we have something to always see. So let's go add a text. Let's make it H3 and let's call it related products. Okay. So while I prototype, I like to drop the component and then preview it as I go. So I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to immediately open the related product. You can see that I just have a title here. Let's save that and let's continue. So all of my pages, in this case my blog post 1, has related products. So like we've learned before, we can go through this related products field to get to that list, which I'm going to do. I'm going to insert a reference that will let me reach out to those products. Of course, I need to make it last, and I'm going to revisit this, my title, and I'm going to give it some nice styling. There. And I'm in the related products, so I can start, I'm in the related products here, so I can start rendering some content from them. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to render the title field. And I'm going to make it an H4. And that would be it For the product, actually, I'm going to add a line behind every product. So I'm going to insert an HTML tag, just an HR to make it nice and clean. Let's, oh, no, not here. I actually want it after every product. There we go. Let's see where we are now. Like before, we just enumerated those products that are in the related product field. But now that I'm in that product, I would like to render those fields, those items beneath it. So I'm going to add a query. And for that query, I'm going to, well, at first, let's just see what happens. I'm going to just query all the children. Query and slash dot and slash, so that means immediate children. And I am from that, well, I have enumerated those. I should actually put that somewhere in the middle between the title of the product, and I would like to, from those, so now I'm on the product variant level, so I can render the title from those. And that's going to be a field. Those all inherit from pages, so all of them have title. Let's reload that. And nothing. Okay, so let's see what went wrong. I've built of course, I need a star to query the children. There you go. Okay, assuming that you do the query right, you're going to get the right results. So I have the product titles, but I also have this weird thing called title field. Well, what is that? Okay, so it caught the data. So I need to start filtering those. I don't necessarily always remember what the query syntax is, so I'm just going to query for children because I know that there is an item somewhere in SXA that has there are items that have some queries. Okay, well, I'm going to copy that. So what does this query do? It queries all the children, but skips the page data. Okay, well, that's pretty useful for me. So I'm going to go back to my site, my rendering variant, and I'm going to filter this page data out. I'm going to save that, and voila, I'm done. I have the products rendered for my blog posts that are related to my blog post. Now let me go to another post. And let's drop the page content again. And let's pick the related products. Okay, so this time you remember that I've selected product 3 and product 2 for the post 2. Well, awesome. I can go through the fields, I can query with a Sitecore query. So that's great. Let me delete that and go back to my post one to show you some more querying that you can do. An interesting thing that we have added to rendering variant some time ago is the ability to use search queries. Recently in version 1.7 we have also extended the query language with some additional tokens and ability for you to query based on the context of the page that you're currently on. So in this case, what I would like to find is authors that express similar interest that the blog post expresses. So in this case, I'm going to use the tags, and this is something that I will use to query for authors. So to my authors that I've shown you in one of the previous videos, I have added the SXA taggable base template. So let's go to the author and let's look at the inheritance of that template. I've inherited the taggable base template, which automatically added the SXA tags to that item. So you can see that I have the tags in here, and I've tagged me with some interest, and I've tagged other members of my team with some interest. So based on that, I would like to find all of the authors that are tagged with management and display them in here again. So once more, I'm going to abuse the page content, and I'm going to create a rendering variant called authors with similar interest. Once more, I'm going to provide a title for that component. So I'm going to add a text. And let's call it author with similar interests. And I'm going to style it again. Once again, into the home. This is only for the demo purposes. Your styles should live in theme. Let's drop that component. Let's see how it progresses and how it develops. There you go. Actually, I like to have it in a div 3. So save that, refresh. No, just save that. There we go. Okay, so I have the title. Now I need to query for those authors. So I'm going to insert a query again and query for, I'm going to query for authors. Sort that to render after the title, and I'm going to build a Sitecore search query. I'm not going to need that, and I'm assuming that I'm on a blog post page, so I have the tags. So actually, first thing I want to search for authors, right? So I'm going to search for template, and it's going to be an author template. There you go. Search. Okay, I found all of my authors. I want this to be always applicable, and then I want them to be tagged similarly. So with SXA, we've added a token with some sample tokens. You can extend that, but luckily for me this time, I have the token that I need in here. So I'm going to look for those authors tagged with at least one tag from the current page. That's pretty useful. It's not going to show anything, and I'm going to make a plus, because whatever I'm searching here is not tagged with anything, so that token basically removes everything from my search, but the query still stays. And under that, I already did style author, so I'm going to reuse that. I have some nice functionality for that. I'm just going to reuse this header wrapper, copy it under my query authors. Yes, please. And I'm going to drop my image wrapper so that my authors have show their picture. Let's save that. So you can see I'm rendering the component title, and then I'm querying for authors by the template and tagged the same way as my current page. And then now that I have those authors, I render just their information. Let's refresh that. And there you go. So I can see that this is now here. Now let's go and make use of it, of those two components that I've placed on partial design, so that we can actually see that they are everywhere. So I'm going to go to my blog partial, and I'm going to drop my page content with related authors with similar interests, and below that I'm going to drop a page content with related products. I'm going to save that. And let's go home. Actually, let's go to the blog. And let's see how the page changes based on the context. So on the management page, I have the people who have expressed the interest in management, and also I have tagged this product page with product 1, product 2. On my blog post 2, I have the technical stuff, people who are tagged with either technical or front end, and then I have product 3 and product 2 on this page with their variants. And actually this one is technical. Let's remove that tag so that we can see that when there is no tags, well, actually everything shows up because nothing is everywhere. So let's make it a quality assurance post. And we get our QA members related products is empty because I haven't tagged this with any products, but I can go and tag it with product 3 to see that this is actually rendering. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed that.